So here is Aldeguer, then back in the second row in 6th place. Jack Miller, of course, who came out of Q1 with Fabio Quartararo, is in 12th. Miller's opening burst in that session of 39.535 was about 0.6 away from its Q1 benchmark. As Aldeguer then picks up the pace, charges down the start-finish straight, drops his right leg there just to get a bit of stability on the brakes down the hill into turn 1. That's where we pick up Bezzecchi as well. Factory of Pirelli riders looked on song all weekend after a bit of a blip last time out in Sepang, where we didn't really see him figure prominently at the front of any stage in the sprint or the Grand Prix. Straight down to business though, isn't he here? Bezzecchi just out of heel camera shot there behind Fermin Aldeguer, who's on the gas, powering the Gresini Ducati out of turn 5. This is going to be close, isn't it? Well, close as far as Aldeguer and Bezzecchi are concerned, maybe not close as far as Acosta is concerned, because Acosta here, well, those three on your screens are threatening 37s here.
I've seen a bit of this through the weekend with Alex Marquez. The first sector not his strongest around the lap, particularly the 4th sector is where we see a lot of good work from Alex Marquez. Bezzecchi now a 1/4 of a second inside, and we are closing in on the 137s once again. Pedro Acosta further back down the racetrack. He's about to come through the 2nd sector. He's around about a 1/2 tenth down on Bezzecchi, but up on Alex Marquez.
Yeah, Aldeguer's struggling, having had a real strong blitz in the 1st sector. He's losing time in sectors 2 and 3 at the moment, is Aldeguer. No problems at the moment, though, for Bezzecchi, Acosta, Bagnaia and co. They're looking really strong. You can just out of your picture, there is Jack Miller there, top of your picture right now. He's using Bezzecchi as the perfect reference here on the factory of Aprilia ahead of him. We're going to find the first 137 of Sprint Saturday here. It's going to be fired in surely by Marco Bezzecchi. Over the line he goes. He duly obliges, a 137.556. Bezzecchi was lightning fast in that final sector. What a last sector that was by Bezzecchi. Miller goes up from 12th to 4th. Acosta finds a 37, a 137.930. He's on for a season best.
Zarco.
2nd place. Zarco jumps up into P3 for LCR Honda. What a late session this is proving to be. Bezzecchi, Acosta, Zarco, then at your moment, your front row.
And Alex Marquez isn't really responding to that at the moment. He's a 1/4 of a second down, no matter how good he is in the final sector. Alex is going to have his work cut out to overturn that. Here he comes on the 73. He'll have 2 more attempts after this one, but he had a poor 2nd sector did Alex Marquez. As he now comes across, it's going to be a 37, but it's not going to beat Bezzecchi. Alex Marquez only 3rd.
And Bezzecchi and Acosta, they ain't done yet, are they? So too Alex Marquez, but look at this from Marco Bezzecchi. He gained 0.2 of a second in that final sector. Quartararo once again delivering something super special for the factory Yamaha team. Quartararo 137.8. Somebody's gone down. I can hear somebody's down in my headset. There's been a fall. It's Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez then fighting to get himself back on the front row of the grid. Fastest in both sessions on Friday. Alex Marquez then has crashed out while he was sitting in 4th place.
Turn 3, I think. Looks like turn 3 that Alex Marquez has gone down, which will have brought out yellow flags, but he was at the back of the queue. So it won't affect Bezzecchi and Acosta, who are going head-to-head at the moment for pole position. It won't be Alex Marquez. He won't be on the front row. It's Bezzecchi versus Acosta.
Bezzecchi then charging towards the finish line. Over the line he goes. A 137.575. Close. So close. What about Acosta? Can he snatch pole position then? With just over a minute remaining here in this Portimao qualifying session. Up to 2nd. Shows how good Bezzecchi's 137.556 was. Clinging on to the front row remains Fabio Quartararo. Joan Mir jumps up to 6th place. We've got Zarco, Mir and Miller at the moment. Well, Zarco, Mir on the 2nd row with Alex Marquez. How costly though could that crash be for Marquez? Is he going to get pushed further down the order?
Well, the one rider who might push him down, he's had 2 scruffy laps, is Pecco Bagnaia, because he's down in 10th at the moment. He's not improved on that 38.5 he did on his first run. He had a mistake in the 3rd sector on his first lap of run 2, and then he's clearly had a problem on his 2nd one too. So Bagnaia's got one more shot at this. He has just set the fastest 1st sector though.
And Acosta still plugging away, still fighting with all of his might on that factory KTM to take pole position here in Portimao. Pecco Bagnaia also trying to rally late on, and he needs it because at the moment he's down in 10th place. Only Iagura and Polispargo, as Acosta's made a mistake. Acosta then has to roll out of it. So that's session over as far as he's concerned. Izzy, though, safe and secure and about to claim his first front row start of 2025. Bezzecchi looking well set for pole position here. Aldeguer, Bagnaia's not really happening for him on this current lap. Estimated to move up into 8th place. He needs a stonking second half of this lap, doesn't he? Bagnaia. Bezzecchi then now. Can he improve on a 37.556? No is the answer. He's taken the checker flag with Fermin Aldeguer as well.
Polispargo's on a pretty decent lap too. He might get himself in amongst the second or third row of the grid. So Alex Marquez, wherever he is, we're watching this very, very closely because this could bump him back to 5th now with Bagnaia, who had a really good third sector. He might even sneak ahead of Acosta here if Pecco's got the final sector right. He's out of the final corner now. Beating Bezzecchi might be a tall order. Bagnaia just gets ahead of Alex Marquez into 4th.
Yeah, Fabio Quartararo's backed out of as well. I was keeping a close eye on Quartararo because he had an excellent first sector. He was only down by 100th of a second on Bezzecchi's best lap, but unfortunately Quartararo, as you can see, he's just he's called it off. Is he going to be on the front row of the grid? Polispargo jumps up into P10. That relegates Fermin Aldeguer, whose sprint Saturday started off pretty well, fastest in the damp session in FP2, but Aldeguer is down in 11th place. Marco Bezzecchi, well, both Alex Marquez and Pedro Acosta, they picked out the Italian on the factory Aprilia as potentially being one of their big threats, their big rivals for success here this weekend. Well, that was a prediction that was bang on the money here, wasn't it? Bezzecchi then on pole position on the factory Aprilia, just as he was most recently in Red Bull Ring in Austria, in Misano in front of his home crowd, and in Mandalika. Alex Marquez, well, 5th place on the grid was not what Alex came for. Here he is then going through turn 2. That was never settled at all, was it? He's just going to wash the front out, going through turn 3. That mistake then will see Alex Marquez start the 12-lap sprint this afternoon and tomorrow's 25-lap Grand Prix of Portugal from the middle of the second row in 5th place.
And we'd waited eons for a Ducati-less front row of the grid. We finally had one in Phillip Island. Well, for the second time in 3 races, there is no Ducati on the front row of the grid. It's an Aprilia, a KTM, and a Yamaha that will start on the front row of the grid. Surely Acosta will motor down to turn 1 first later on, as he's now taking the scenic route on his way back to the pits. He threw everything at that. It is his first front row of the season, and Acosta is well and truly in the game to fight for victory here.